Welcome to the Empower Her Experience Sankofa series. I'm your host, Tanisha Miss T. Morrison, owner and visionary of the Empower Her Experience, where our mission is to be a bridge builder for Black girls and women, helping to release trauma, transform mindsets, and enhance their personal and professional development through various empowerment programs and events. For those unfamiliar, Sankofa is a African proverb meaning reach back or go back and fetch it. Literally pulling from your past to prepare for your future. This series, I'll be doing exactly that. Over the past 7 years, I've had numerous amount of women who have poured into my business, my brand, my mission, and I am trying to be of service to go back and find out, hey girl, what's going on? How are you? How's business? How's life? I'm excited to have Taeneka DaSean, the owner of Hands of Sage, with me today. If you ask Taeneka DaSean, better known as Sage Goddess, she can still remember the feeling of leaving the drugstore for the third time that week and feeling hopeless, picking up prescriptions for steroids for her young son. This was due to doctors not knowing whether he was suffering from asthma or allergies. This will be the last time Taeneka would be putting these harsh chemicals into her son. She went home and began researching ways to naturally heal her son using herbs. Little did she know that this would spark a passion in her that would heal to her furthering her education by studying under Dr. Akua Gray and earning a certification in natural health as well as becoming a master herbalist. This would then lead to the founding of Hands of Sage in 2016. Taeneka has taken her knowledge of herbs and her love for tea and merged them for a successful union. Hands of Sage has since curated over 10 herbal healing blends. Taeneka's goal is to empower people to take their health back naturally, sip by sip. Hey, girl.
Hey, that was good. I was like, "Ooh, that me right there. That was good." I'm
That's
like,
all you, girl. That is all
"Yes,
you, honey.
yes." Hello, my love. How are you?
I am well. So it's been some time since we
It
actually
has,
met, and it sounds like we've only met once, maybe twice, but we met on vacation in the beautiful
yes,
Cabo.
yes.
Shout out to Coriel and Busy at the Beach, and just connecting us Black women together. Since then, we've been following each other on Instagram, and I've been seeing that you have been consistent in, pushing your brand and what you believe in. And I just want to first check in and do a hey good, are you? Hey sis, are you good? Mental health check in, and just make sure everything's good with you.
I love it. I love it. Well, first off, thank you for allowing me and sharing your platform with me, first and foremost. Second of all, hey girl, hey. No, I am good. I am good. These last couple of years have definitely been interesting to say the least. And day by day, there's always something that gets just a little bit more interesting at this
Oh yeah.
time. But the more that we learn, we grow, and we make changes accordingly. So I can honestly say that I'm in a good space, and yeah, life is good. Shout out to Drake.
So one of my favorite quotes is by Eleanor Roosevelt, and it is, "A woman is like a tea bag. You never know how strong she is until she's in hot water." And I
Yeah.
actually started with that quote in 2016 at my first Empower Her experience. And I think it really resonates when I think about your brand. So can you tell me a little bit about your experience with your son and the whole prescribed medication and how you were in that predicament and what led you to do your business?
So with him, sheesh, that was so long ago. It's crazy. So that particular son, because I now have two sons, and at the time I only had one son. So so it's weird to figure it out. But at that time, that particular son was my first child, and I was a young mother, and just really not knowing what to do or what was what. So at that time, he was probably about 2 or 3, and he had been in and out of school, One doctor was saying allergies, one doctor was saying asthma. They were doing these tests, but nobody was really giving me like an exact answer. They were just like, here, we're going to throw this at him. Oh, that didn't work. We're going to try this at him. So I literally have been back and forth to that CVS to the point that they knew me by name before I even like told them my name.
Wow.
And I remember leaving that third time and just feeling like super defeated. Like, okay, there's gotta be something else that I can do. So I started doing some research. We hit the good old Dr. Google, and I just ran in, natural remedies, natural things for breathing, natural things for asthma, natural things for allergies, just kind of throwing things around and kind of playing with those things. And from what I found at that point, it was more like, changing his diet, taking the dairy out, taking the processed foods out, taking the Pop-Tarts, basically a lot of things that he loved. So needless to say, he really thought he was being punished and he was over mommy for quite some time because I took away everything because I'm trying to figure it out. So we started incorporating, more fresh green vegetables, more water, ginger to his water, teaching him how to deep breathe from here, his actual diaphragm. And those things started working for him and he started progressing over time. So I was like, okay, well, wait a minute, there might be something into this. At that time, I was going kind of back and forth in between like my classes and what I was going to do at school. And I was doing EMT, but I really wasn't doing EMT because I really didn't like EMT. So I started doing more research. And at that time, Dr. Akura was doing a local program. And what she was doing is she was taking her 9-month program and she was condensing it into 3 months. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. Wow. She's in Atlanta. Yes. Because usually she does things like out there near you in Texas. Well, not near you, but on your side of the world, actually. She's usually in Texas or she's actually in Ghana. So I was like, oh, this is an amazing opportunity. So I went and did the program, knocked it out in 3 months, did my thing. And really since that, literally God has just been making room for my gift. So because I've always loved teas, I used to drink teas with my girlfriends at the house. And even from a small age, peppermint tea, red zinger, that was my jump,
I like peppermint tea, yeah.
Yes. So we got older and I used to take the tea bags and I would combine different tea bags into a cup and make tea for my friends. And so we used to do that kind of like around that time of the month or, even if we're just having a little gathering. And so that actually kind of all came together and then Hands of Sage was born. So really my first tea was actually Sage's Moon, which is a woman's tea for hormone balancing, menstrual, fibroid, all that great fun stuff. Because that's what I used to mix the tea bags for, was for like cramps and stuff. Okay. And then after that, the teas just kind of started flowing. So I would do events and people would say, do you have anything for allergies? And I would say, actually, based off of, what herbs, because there's an herb for everything. So based off of the herbs that I was using for my son, I started putting those into teas. So then I formed a tea for allergies, and I formed a tea for sleep. Then I formed a tea for anxiety. So they just kind of grew based off of the needs. So that's where the over 10 has come from, to the point where now I also can do the custom blends as well. So it has definitely been a journey that actually really started way before 2016, that I just really didn't know how it was going to blossom into, what it started with at 2016. And even from 2016 to now, I'm still amazed when people come in or they ask for certain things, or do you have a combination for? And I'm like, I do. Yes, I do. I can do that. Yeah. So it's been an amazing journey.
I really love when, you're into something, you have a passion for it. It's something that you just really enjoy. For you, it was a tea. And then that turned into you having the life experience with your son, and then saying, my joy, my passion, the knowledge that I have of this can now be a remedy to help my son, and then in turn help others. So I really like the journey that you've kind of been on thus far. So I reached out to you in 2019. Now that was, I think we went to Cabo. What was Cabo in early 2019? It was either
It was
2019 or
like
2018.
2018,
Okay.
maybe.
So we've been like virtual friends. Hey, friends.
Yes. Hey, boo.
Since then, reached out to you, to be a sponsor for Empower Her. The theme that year was Activate Your Potential. And then we went into the pandemic, and it was just like, whoa,
And
what
that
potential?
was
What
it.
am I activating? What's going on here?
And that was it.
Right. So, can you talk a little bit about how that theme, Activate Your Potential, has resonated or showed up for you since the pandemic?
I think that it was timely, I will say. Because in 2020 the whole world shut down. Like we
Yeah.
didn't know what we were gonna do, how we were doing it. We were wearing masks, we was wearing bubble suits, we was doing
Yeah.
everything. So even in, activating potential, that was a time, 2020 was probably that time that not only myself, but people as a whole had to really, really dig into their potential.
Yeah.
And for me, I also run a herb shop out here. So we were preparing for shutdowns, we were preparing. Hannah, I bought paint. I just knew I was gonna paint my house. I was
You have
gonna
all the time in the
rebuild
world.
stuff. Listen, I had bought seeds. I was gonna start my garden. And in all actuality, that stuff is still sitting in my garage.
Yeah.
Because it was a pivotal time where I was pushed into my potential. I didn't activate it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't activate it. I was pushed into
Sometimes
it.
you need the push. Sometimes the push can, give you that little burst of energy.
And that's what happened. I was pushed into it.
Mm-hmm.
So that year, with everything that was going on with the panoramic, as I like to call it, we started finding ways to boost our immune system. We duck an endogenous bug like the Matrix. So I began getting creative with the herbs. I began getting creative with supplements and building regimens because it seemed like left and right, somebody was catching it.
Yeah.
My goal was, you catch it, that's cute, but you can't die. You can't die. So let's figure out how to keep you alive. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I got creative. I created a stronger version of the immunity, where I added like the echinacea, the elderberry, the lemon, the rose hips, and that. So we had that. Then we threw in zinc, of course, was a thing. We threw in the NAC. So it was really a time for me of research where I really had to kind of dig down and like put my science major cap on and really look into, okay, what is this doing to the body and how do we, one, prevent it? But if it happens to get into the body, how do we get it out? And then there was the third step was, I was noticing that people, as they were recovering, were having issues with other parts of their bodies that they didn't have before. So then it's like, okay, what does recovery look like?
Yeah.
And so in all honesty, while 2020 was the roughest year, business wise, 2020 was an amazing year. Like I had to go get a CPA in real life. Like I was trying to make sure all money was good because I don't look good in orange or stripes. So I'm not trying to be like
So keep it legit, keep it cute.
Listen. So, for me, it did. I was pushed into my potential, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that time is, dare I say, somewhat over.
Yeah.
But definitely learned a lot about myself and kind of stepping out of my comfort zone to even promote and say, hey, I have a tea, or hey, I have a protocol or a regimen that will help this. You have to kind of be careful with those type of things and how people receive them. So yeah, that was, that happened. It happened.
It sound like you did a good pivot with what was going on in the world. Not a lot of businesses were blessed to be able to boom, if you will, during that time. But with a product and a brand that you have where it's beneficial for our health, it makes sense.
Absolutely.
So what would you say in that time of researching and learning about new herbs and things like that can help us through the pandemic and even after the pandemic, after COVID, all of those good things? What became like your top blends, if you will, and what have been the benefits of?
I would definitely say the immunity is definitely still a top blend. The immunity does just that. It helps to boost the immune system. It helps with colds, flus, like your basic stuff, but it even helps with your big stuff. So I had like a lot of teachers. I was doing teacher packages, teacher boxes. I had a lot of teachers doing that because, of course, they're in the school system. And that's how they weren't getting sick. I had a lot of military. I was shipping my stuff to Japan
Nice.
because I had a lot of military that were trying to make sure that they didn't get sick. So immunity is still a very popular one. I will also say that Sage's Brew is a popular one. That one's built for like a mental clarity, kind of helps with anxiety, focus, kind of bring you down, kind of calm you, level you out so you can focus. I actually
I need to
created
add
that
that
tea.
to the cart.
Listen, add it, girl. I actually added that. I made that tea for myself.
Okay.
And then I started thinking this could be beneficial because I needed something after work, after a long day, but I still got to come home and do homework with the children or cook or, whatever it is that needs to be done. So I need just a little bit more energy, but I don't want to be up all night, but I need to kind of mellow myself out so that I can focus and hone in what I need to do. Which is why it's called Sage's Brew, because I'm Sage and I brewed it for myself. So it wasn't nothing super creative. It was just, I think y'all need to try it. That's it. Sage's Brew is a really popular one. And I think the third is the Sage's Sangria. And that one is a fun, fruity detox. But it's not like a have you sitting in the bathroom all day. It goes with your natural rhythms, but it's giving you a full cleanse. So it's bowels, it's cellular, it's liver, it's kidneys, it's blood, giving you a full cleanse without like that rush to go to the bathroom, which I was finding after people were sick, doing a detox to kind of cleanse everything out. If you've been on a medication regimen, I usually tell my personal clients, I tell them you should do a cleanse as the seasons change, just to kind of restart your body. So doing the cleanse is a popular, it has a little oolong in it as well. So it's good for people if they're trying to like boost their metabolism, things like that. So those three, I think right now though, the allergy ease is a really popular one because, the pollen is pollinating, especially here in Georgia. So, and then I have like my seasonal blends and I have my like teas of the month and things like that. The teas of the month are always fun. I'm noticing people like those because it's something new, it's something fresh. So I get to kind of swap out and play with teas each month. But yeah, those are the top three.
Okay, I'm excited. I have to go back on your website. It's been a little bit of time, but it sounds like you have some good new blends and some things that I personally need. Definitely the detox and mental clarity. All of those are definitely important and needed in my life, and I'm sure for others as well.
Absolutely.
So I definitely have heard that you have expanded your blend since the pandemic. For anyone that's really trying to figure out, if they're at a standstill or if they're trying to get back into, their brand for whatever reason, it could be the pandemic, it could be, just transitioning in life and things like that. Maybe they're a new entrepreneur and they're trying to kind of like get started. Two things. One, what advice would you give them? And two, do you have a tea that will, add to their kind of just sitting still and their creative passions and things like that?
So first question, what is my advice? And as cliche as this probably is, just do it. Like, because you are going to overthink, you are going to try to over prepare. You're never going to have enough resources. Like in real life, you're never going to have everything right. It's just like I told you when we started the interview, I had, kind of jotted down some things I wanted to talk about. And I couldn't tell you where that list is right now. I would probably find it when we get done, but if I held on to that, that would have kept me from, being here with you today. You know what I mean? So there's so many opportunities in just doing it. Do your research, prepare yourself accordingly. But I feel like if God gives it to you, like just do it, just run it, and you'll find that he literally will make room for your gift. Like I literally started with one tea and an idea. and something that for me personally, I've just always wanted to help people. Like that's all I've ever wanted to do. My first job when everybody else was working at restaurants, no shade to y'all or whomever you may be, but all my friends were working at restaurants and fast food. I was working at a nursing home. Like, I've always
the path that you wanted to take.
Absolutely. And I have stayed, even throughout different careers, I've stayed on that path. So I really feel like God will make a room for you. And so if you have that idea, if you have that passion, the doors are going to open, period.
Yeah.
So just do it.
Yeah.
Period. And then stick with it. Stay consistent with it.
The consistency. Yeah.
I fall short sometimes. I know people on social media have been like, so where'd she pop up from? I'm back, guys. Hi, how you doing?
Hey,
I'm back.
Same here. I've been gone for a year and a half on social media. Yeah. Here I am doing interviews. Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
But see, you had to make that decision to say, but you know what? I'm jumping out, and that's what I'm gonna do. Y'all clearly missed me, so let's go. And we did. So welcome back. You know.
Thank you.
So that's absolutely important. As far as the tea, I would go either Sage's Brew, because it is giving you that mental clarity and that focus, or Morning Blush, which is similar to the one that we had in Cabo. Morning Blush is like that strawberry blend. It's green tea. It's a tea called yerba mate. So it kind of gives you natural energy boost. But then it also has an herb called gotu kola, and that's like for memory and kind of cognitive, brain health, all that great stuff. It just has a really good flavor to it. So you can sweeten it or not sweeten it, but the strawberries kind of hold their own, and you can drink it hot or cold. So I would say either the Sage's Brew or the Morning Blush, or both. You know, that's always a thing. But those would probably be the best, like, two to kind of get you started to get that focus in, for sure. Those are definitely my favorite.
Y'all heard her. If you need some mental clarity, if you need to just, really laser focus on some things, get that Sage's Brew or the Blush.
Morning Blush.
Okay.
Yep.
What do you feel that you have learned about yourself in these past 3 years coming out of the pandemic? It being actually a good thing for you with the world slowed down, and unfortunate, that people, of course, were ill and things like that. But it allowed them to learn more about their bodies, things that they should be putting in their bodies, the herbs that can be beneficial for them. What did you learn about Taeneka that is now good for your clients, your customers, that they can appreciate because you've been through this journey?
I would say holding space for myself. As a healer, as a mother, as a daughter, as a there's so many hats that are being worn. I will say that even with the 2020 time, there was a lot of times I had to sit still. Nothing was open. So you couldn't go nowhere. You kind of had to sit with yourself. You had to deal with yourself.
Yeah.
But in that time, I learned holding space for myself. That self-care is sometimes just sitting in the car. I mean, y'all know when I go live, 90% of the time I'm sitting in the car for real.
Yeah. But that car is like a safe haven,
Yes, it's protected. You get the little air if you need it. Like it's a wonderful little office.
Yeah.
So holding space for myself and holding that space for my boundaries. Learning that no is a complete sentence. Not striving to overwork or do more than what I can take on. Yeah. I think those are probably the most important things, because now I'm able to see them firsthand a little bit better. So when people come and I have clients and we're doing like our one-on-one consultations and they're explaining to me like their life is so busy and they don't have time, I can relate and I can say, but you have 15 minutes that you can sit in that car when you get off work that doesn't belong to anybody but you, that you can sing your heart out, that you can pray, that you can take a quick nap, that you can journal. You have 15 minutes, so I'm able to better help people in building their boundaries and help people to build that space and create that space for themselves, to be able to hold that space for themselves. And I think that was something that was really important for me to be able to do that I wasn't doing that I didn't realize how much I wasn't doing it until I had to literally sit still.
Yeah.
So definitely, yeah.
I love that. And I love that for your clients, your customers, and all of those people around you to be reminded that you definitely have to take time for self. It's very
Mhm.
important. Um, and it's not only beneficial for you, it's beneficial for the people around you to make sure that they're getting the best version of you and you're able to give the best version of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One like demonstration that I do is I'll take like a teacup, of course, because teacup makes sense.
Yeah.
And if you have the empty teacup and you try to pour it into something, of course it doesn't work out.
Mhm.
So the demonstration basically shows me pouring the water into the teacup, and then there's the saucer underneath.
Yeah.
So once your teacup is full, the water then flows into the saucer. And
Mhm.
so what I show people and teach them is that that saucer is what you give to everyone else. You keep your teacup for yourself. Your teacup should always be full and it should always be for self. You
I
give
love
for
that.
the saucer. And if you don't have anything to give from the saucer, those are your boundaries. That's
Yeah.
when you can say no. That's when you're like, not tonight. That's when you're like, I'm going to sleep. So
Mhm.
I think it's really important to kind of have that mental to kind of understand that as you go throughout your day, make sure you keep your teacup, for yourself.
Yeah. So I hear you say some, working with your clients and things of that sort. Can you tell me a little bit more about what that service looks like? What is the service called? How do people book it?
Okay, super simple. It's a wellness consultation. That's all. Uh, no, so I do them here and I do them, like how we are virtually. So literally, we set up a Zoom, we sit and talk, we have a conversation. I have like a little checklist that I kind of go through where you answer yes and no questions. And
Okay.
based off of those yes or no questions, we kind of analyze where you are in life and how we can shift some things, how we can make changes. We talk
Okay.
about what your actual health goals are. And then with that, you get a custom blend tea just for your life and for what you have going on.
Nice.
If you're local to me, I actually do what's called iridology, which is the study of the actual eyes and face reading. So
Okay.
with that, I can look into like your eyes and kind of see where your weaknesses are in your body. And so then
Hmm.
we work on strengthening those weaknesses and we kind of build you a supplement regimen, a tea regimen, all that great stuff. So it's super simple in theory. It lasts about an hour, just kind of depending on how many questions you have. But people get really good results, and then usually we kind of do a follow up after 90 days. So I say just like trial period on your job or anything else, give yourself 90 days to get that regimen in to see how your body changes. If we need to tweak it, if we need to add certain things to it, we can totally do that. But it's just a good baseline start for people that don't know where to start, or they like all the teas and they want all the teas, but maybe there's something else that they could really benefit from. There's things like that. I've had clients that just want to reset, that nothing's really wrong per se, but they just feel like they need a reset. So we kind of write down what resetting looks like for them. I've had some that have just major illnesses that the doctors have kind of like really just not known what to do, and we were able to kind of shift those things over and make it better. So it's a wide range of people that I see on a regular basis. But it's a really good way to connect one with people, which is I love that. But it's also a way to kind of sit down and really show people it's bigger than just your basic pharmaceutical world. Like I
Right.
believe doctors have their place, they're great, love it for them. However, unless we're getting to the root cause, we're not really healing the problem. We're just putting a band-aid over it. So it gives you like that one-on-one time with me versus, people sliding in my DMs, asking quick questions. By the time we went back and forth 5 or 6 times, baby, you need a consultation. We can't do
Yeah.
this over the
Oh,
phone.
yeah. I
We
definitely
can't.
know about that. Yeah,
So yeah, so
they
that's why
want
I
you to give
created
them the
that.
whole answer, solution, and prescription and everything else for free, basically. So
Yeah, and then there's that, and then my attention span don't always be there. So it's
mm,
just like a text message. You think you answer, and then you look, oh shoot, I never hit send. I'm
right.
that person. Sit with
Yeah.
me, honey, because I can't go back and forth all day.
Well, it definitely sounds like the one-on-ones are worth it. The tea, I already know it is amazing. I definitely love it. I definitely need to go ahead and order some of the new blends as well. You mentioned that some people just want the whole collection. How do you kind of help them like take a step back to determine which blend they should actually utilize so that it is actually benefiting them and they're not just sipping tea all day, and just mixing everything and it's not really working for them?
I'll show you. So it'll be something simple like this. Okay, so T, give me what your basic day is like. What does your day look like on a day-to-day basis? Give me just a basic day.
Basic day, go to work 9 to 5. I have like a 30 to 45 minute commute depending on traffic. I'm at the office for about 6.5 to 8 hours, another 30-40 minute commute. Come back to my partner, my daughter, and then try to figure out how to love on them for, some time. And then now I'm back into building Empower Her. So I'm also trying to find some time to not feel like I'm neglecting my new family, but also wanting to make sure that I'm getting back to some of my passions and purpose. So that's like a 12-hour day, if I will.
Gotcha. So boom. So look, you about to go into the store and be like, so boom. So it sounds like you have long days, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go backwards. So
Okay.
I would start with Perfect Peace, which is a sleeping tea, right? So you take that before bed, you take that during your wind down time. So
Okay.
you've taken your shower, you got your music playing, you might have a little lavender oil or a little vanilla, you kind of just chilling out, you vibing with yourself. You have Perfect Peace. Perfect Peace is a blend that has lavender, it has peppermint, it has hops and passion flower. So it's helping to calm the nerves. It's helping for you. Your mind has been thinking all day. You've been going all day. So the Perfect Peace is going to do just that, kind of bring you into peace so that you can go to sleep and rest to get your day started. So we're up in the morning, we're getting the day started. I really would suggest the morning blush because it's going to give you that good amount of energy that you need to get your day started while you're sitting in traffic, you're focused. California traffic hit completely different thing I've ever seen in my life, Lord. So something to kind of get your energy. It's a, like I said, it's a strawberry base, so it's bright, it's a happy tea, you know what I mean? Get your day started. You got your music, you're grooving, you're singing, you're doing your praise and worship, whatever your thing is, that's how you're starting your day heading to work.
Okay.
Home, that's when I would either do, so here's a trick, because the teas are loose herbs, they're reusable.
Okay.
So what I would either do is I would either run back the morning blush that you had, I would run it back. It's not going to be as strong as it was the first time, but it might help you get through what you need to get through for the rest of the evening before you go to Perfect Peace. Or if you're just really a tea lover like myself, of course, then that's where that Sage's Brew will come into play, because it's still going to help you focus, kind of calm and even you out from the frazzleness of the day, and then still give you the energy because it has the ashwagandha in it that acts as an adaptogen, is going to give you what you need. So it's going to kind of help mellow you out, keep your mood, keep your stress levels, and then even you out until it's time to do your Perfect Peace. So something like that, it's just 3 teas or 2 teas a day, but something like that would be your regimen. In addition to that, it's helping you get your water in. So your body is 70 to 80% water. Dehydration causes stress. It causes high blood pressure. It causes headaches. It makes you think you're hungry when you're not. So it's also helping you get your water in throughout the day as well. So boom, now you have a tea regimen.
Okay. All right. I got my 3 teas out. I'm going to purchase, check out as soon as we're done with this interview.
So that's basically how I would do, as far as building, instead of someone that just wants to buy everything. I mean, of course, run it up. Hey, I've got kids. Right. So, love that for you. But if you're just really trying to hone it down, that would be how I help people kind of figure out what they need the most.
Okay. So before we close, what can we look forward to from Hands of Sage in the remaining 2023, 2024? What are you looking forward to for your business, your company?
I'm outside. I'm outside in these streets. I'm just kidding. I am on the sidewalk. Do not look for me for anything. No. Um, I have actually another brand that's Wellness Recon. So Wellness Recon, we do wellness events twice a year. So I actually have one coming up March 25th, which means there'll be another one in the fall. So I do Wellness Recon a couple times a year, which is awesome sauce. I'm actually branching out into Traveling with Sage, which is my travel company. So I'm basically promoting and teaching. Yes. It's self-care via travel.
Yeah.
So it's taking a break, like a real break, and getting the heck on and seeing the world and discovering new things. So we'll be traveling with Sage this year. And I think it's time, speaking of pushing myself, I think it's time to bring back the tea experiences, which was when I would get about 10 women. We would sip tea, we would talk, we would journal, we would plot out. I don't know what just happened. Oh, hold on.
I can hear you.
Okay. I don't
there
know.
You go.
It all went right. Okay, there we go.
The tea experience.
We just kind of gather, we build each other, we cry, we laugh, we talk about those intimate things where we think that we're the only ones going through it, and then we sit in this circle and we're like, oh, you got a family too that you trying to, girl, you be trying to balance that out. You got mommy guilt too sometimes, huh? Girl, let me tell you. And we're here, to talk about it and to talk through it. And so that's what the tea experiences were. So we're going to bring those back. And then we're just going to keep bringing you tea. I'm coming out with another blend of combination this summer. It's going to be like a luxury blend, if you will. So it's going to be like a strawberry daiquiri, pina colada, peach Bellini, lemon Bellini. I'm bringing like the fun into
Bring the brunch
teas.
experience.
Yes. So those will be coming out this summer. And yeah, that's what we're doing. We're just going to keep going. We're just going to keep rolling out and keep doing it. And if people request things and are looking for things, then that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the people what they want, and the people want tea, and I got the tea. So that's what we're doing.
You got the tea. So we have Wellness Recon, we have Travel with Sage, and we have the tea experience. The Wellness Recon, you said, is next week. Where is that located?
So it is actually online. It's a virtual. This particular one is virtual.
Okay.
We do some where they're like virtual and in person. But this particular one, we're doing like a back to basics type of vibe. So we're going back to where it's just me and Kylie, and we're just doing like real simple, making it accessible for everyone. So you can register. If you go to vrockfitness.net/wellness recon, you can get your tickets there. But it's virtual. And my going joke is you don't have to wear pants. So, that was one of the things in 2020. Nobody wanted to put clothes on anymore. Right. So you don't have to put clothes on. So I'm actually also doing a virtual event tomorrow as well. But that's in Atlanta. That one's in Atlanta. But yeah, so Wellness Recon. And probably in the fall, when we do it in the fall, it'll probably be a virtual and in person. We'll go back to the in-person situation. So yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I definitely want to connect with you on the Travel with Sage. I also have Slaycation Travel that is connected to my business.
I love it. Yes.
Thank you. I have a group of about 15, I think I'm closer to 20 ladies going out to the DR in July. So yeah, I want to get with you for as far as maybe doing like a bulk order of teas, but then also figuring out how we can collaborate with the travel piece in general.
Absolutely. Do you have somebody that's booking you for those that DR trip?
I am. It's under my travel company.
Okay, even better. Yes. Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
So we definitely need to collaborate.
I love it. We do. Oh, we should do like a cruise.
Let's do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna talk.
For sure. And then I do hope that the tea experiences, you start those back up, and maybe one day, somewhere down the line, one of my best friends is trying to get me to fly out to Georgia as well, and I just haven't made it down.
Understood.
So yeah,
Understood. You just need
I'm
to come out.
overdue for a trip.
Let's make it happen. Come on. I
My last
should
question
actually.
to
I'm
you.
thinking about doing Vegas in October, so maybe you can meet
Okay.
me in Vegas.
Okay, I
I'll come
just
out to
came
the
back
West Coast.
from Vegas. My mom's birthday was last weekend, so we did
Hey,
her
mama, happy
first
birthday,
ever.
mama.
Yeah, it was her first time ever being in Vegas. She spent her 59th birthday there. So
I love
it
it.
was
Love it.
a good experience.
Yes, yes. I'm glad mama made it back.
Yeah. But I have one last question. I'm a new mommy. My daughter just turned 1. So
Oh,
thank you. My question to you is, I know that you kind of, took the journey of starting your company because of, what you were experiencing with your son. My question is, for someone like myself who is jumping back into still having a 9 to 5, trying to get back to my side hustle, small business, so on and so forth, entrepreneur ventures, what advice would you give someone who, is a mother and also trying to, push their business and still kind of working a job to make ends meet until the business take off? Like, what advice do you give for that?
oh. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what you should do,
Okay.
even though I'm not doing it. Just being transparent, but it works when I
Okay.
do it,
Mm-hmm.
so I know it's good.
Okay.
Organize your time. Get you either a calendar, a planner. I got one sitting around here somewhere too. A
Mm-hmm.
planner. I used to use. Actually, I do have one. I used to use, and I still do actually, like an appointment
Yeah.
book that
Mm-hmm.
literally blocks off like your time,
Mm-hmm.
like 15 minutes to 30-minute, whatever, but literally block your time off
Okay.
because you're not always going to have balance. Everybody wants to say, oh, balance, but you're not. It's impossible because life be lifing and children don't care nothing about life be lifing. You can have a whole headache and then people at the job done got on your nerves. You done gave them their job back 3 times.
Yeah.
Baby girl don't care. What you about to do is you about to come and play with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say block off your time so that you're making time for self, so that you're making time for your business.
Okay.
But that way you also at the end of the week, for me, it helps because it's like at the end of the week or at the end of the day where I'm just like, did I do anything today, Jesus?
Yeah.
And I can at least look and be like, okay, wait, I did check that out. Okay, cool. So I'm not as good with it every day.
Yeah.
But I can at least plot out my week better. And I can look back, like today is Friday. I can look back and say, okay, well, I did complete these goals. I didn't finish this, but I did something this week. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
And doing that. And there's going to be days where you're super, super, super entrepreneur and mommy just kind of didn't do what mommy was supposed to do. But then there's going to be days that you mommy your ass off. Excuse my language. But you did that. But you didn't post not one time on IG.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just, but you catch back up the next day. So just kind of working out your day and plotting out your day to see where it looks like so that you know where your time is going. I think probably the biggest thing. And then cutting off any nonsense. Now I'm real good with that. Yeah. Cutting off nonsense. I don't answer my phone before 10 a.m. I don't do anything before 10 a.m.
Right.
I'm very intentional. I take 2 out of 3 of my children to school in the morning. The only reason I don't take the third one is because, he about grown, so he do what he do. He's 17, so it's not cool to be riding with his mama. But I'm very intentional about blocking that time for them so that I can do what I need to do for them. And then the rest of the day is me. You know what I mean? So just taking those times to say, okay, I'm not going to answer the phone after this time. I'm not answering the email. I don't care if you slide on my DM at this time. I'm not doing it, or taking your lunch break and saying, okay, my lunch break, I'm going to post.
Yeah. I definitely utilize those lunch breaks.
There you go. So that when you're home, you can be home. Or you might switch it up. Lunch break, I'm just going to focus on me. I'm going to journal. I'm going to sit quietly. Nobody else is around. There's no distractions. I'm just going to sit down and turn my phone off. So
Mhm.
even just kind of flipping it like that to make sure that you're making that time for yourself. Like, to
Right.
be honest, you absolutely cannot be out here fried up
Yeah.
and don't
Yeah.
have anything else to give to anybody else. So that would be what I'm striving to do it. So, somebody else might as well go ahead.
Look, I hear you. I'm trying, I feel like I'm doing okay. Like you said, there's times where it's like, I got the mom of the year award, and there's times where it's like, ooh, you probably could have did a little bit better. But trying to, kind of just figure it out, slowly ease my way back in. But I always like to hear from other mompreneurs, if you will, as I'm going through this journey.
Yes, because it's a journey, honey. It's oof. And
Yeah.
then she's still young. Just wait till
Oh
they start
yeah.
talking back and stuff. Enjoy it while she's somewhat quiet and she cute and
Oh, she's
stuff.
not
Oof.
quiet, but yeah.
Okay, so then you already know what you're getting into. Then it's
Uh-huh.
fine.
Oh yeah. I
It's
definitely
fine.
have a little me, so I'm
Oh,
I'm
you in trouble.
I'm prepared,
Okay,
or,
just
or
know
or
it.
at least I think I am.
Long. Okay. I was gonna say, we'll see. I'll get you to
Right,
about two or
right.
three. We'll see how prepared you are. We'll see.
Well, look, Tanika, I thank you, Miss Sage Goddess herself, the owner of Hands of Sage. It has been a great interview. I've learned a lot. I definitely want to look forward to those blends, especially those summer concoctions you got going on. Uh,
Yes.
Looking forward to that, and just looking forward to collaboration. And I want to make sure that everyone goes to your all of your different platforms. So handsofsage.com.
Google me, Hands of Sage, all day. Handsofsage.com, Hands of Sage on Facebook, Hands of Sage on Instagram. I spend most of my time on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get back into TikTok and the little TikToks. I can't dance for
I
nothing,
haven't
so I
done
won't
no
be dancing.
TikTok nothing.
But it sounds good. I am Hands of Sage on TikTok.
Mhm.
And yeah, handsofsage.com is the website. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for giving me your time. I hope you
Absolutely.
enjoy your
Thank you for
weekend.
having me.
Yes, of course. All right, ladies, gentlemen, tune in. Hands of Sage on the Sankofa series. Thank you again and have a great weekend.
You as well. Bye, my love.
Bye.